Hello, this is Telemir and welcome to another repair video. In this one, we're looking at a BOSE speaker, I think that's how you pronounce it, and I'm being told by my friend there that it doesn't work. So first off, before I even try to charge it, let's just try powering it on and see what it does. It's doing nothing. Okay, next step. Let's see what it does when we put a little bit of voltage into it, eh? What does my amp reader say? Here's the power connector. Oh, that's loose. Oh, that's probably broken, you know that? As you can see, it's not taking a charge, but you see how wiggly this is? That's a charge connector that's broken. Here, let me take some tweezers and I'll just show that. Ow! I just spiked myself. It seems to be okay. I don't know. Maybe it's the cable that's loose. Oh, that's so stupid. Alright, quickest video in the world. The cable itself. It's broken. Why is it not working? Why is it not charging? That's the charge cable itself is broken. Let's take one that I know is not broken. Fastest video in the world. I'm honestly a bit disappointed. I am very disappointed. I really wanted something more, you know? So there's a good cable. It's still not taking a charge though. Okay, that's interesting. It may be that the battery has been left as is for such a long time that it's gone completely flat. And so I may need to actually just give it a boost. So let's take it apart. I've never taken one of these BOSE apart before. But by the looks of it, you got these right here, which are probably screw caps. Let's see if I can get them out. It's a lot harder than it looks. I can't get anything in there to even pop it out. And that one's coming. I think that one's coming out. Aha! There we go. I had to really jam it down there. There. So it's just pressure fitted. There isn't anything special about it. They got security screws at the bottom. It's got that little nib in the center. What is this? Where am I going here? Soft spot, right here. There's a soft spot I gotta go after right about there to get underneath. Like that. And then pull. Oh, that was so much easier. Ah, finally, got it. That's all of them. Security bits. Okay, let's see what I've got here and what can fit. Will this fit? These have 6 sides, and I think these have only 5. So none of my bits may fit. And isn't that tricky of them? They really don't want this opened. That's extremely annoying. Now it looks like I'm gonna have to go and purchase for myself a 5-point torque security bit. Well, it's the next day, and we have these 5-point security bits finally. This one looks like it's the closest. It's an S2TS15. I think it just barely works. Like, it is shallow. How far in they've got that security bit hole. It's not great. It is really shallow. So I'm going to have to put some super pressure just to get this to work properly. There. It's working. Yeah, it's pretty shallow, but it did the trick. Looks like this might have to come off. How about the other side? Will that come off easier? I'm not sure how it matters right now. All I care about is getting to the battery. Here's our battery. Now, what does this feel like? Is it just an 18650? I think this is just an 18650. There's a little charge controller right here, right along this side. That's what's connecting into there. So we need to take this little piece of material off here, just enough to expose the end. We gotta figure out which side is positive and negative, and we're gonna have to boost this battery. So you can see right there, I need to go get my multimeter. It's measuring at 3.9 volts, almost 4 volts. It should be charging. Maybe you should take a closer look at that charge port. Maybe I'm missing something. Charge port looks fine. To be quite honest here, I was hoping for an easier fix. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be working. The board looks pretty clear. If you look around on it, looks pretty good. I really don't see anything that looks out of place. The only way for me to be able to determine what's wrong is to start going around with my multimeter to see what's going on, see if there's any blown components, or maybe something that's been disconnected, maybe a dry solder joint, something like that. Oh, that whole thing just comes out. How about that? You can't really see it, but there's nothing on the back of the board. This is just a one-sided board. Those are your inputs. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, just barely. Come on, get into focus. There we go. Let's see what kind of voltage we're getting. Not any voltage. Is it possible that the charge control circuit, the charge controller, is faulty? That's a possibility. Before I start digging that battery apart, let's just check for some continuity. Make sure there isn't any short circuits inside of the circuit itself. So let's just find out if there's a common ground somewhere that I can identify. Where are you, common ground? I'll just put it right there. That's definitely going to be common ground. That's normal. I'm having some difficulties even just... These are diodes, I'm pretty sure. I'm having difficulties finding capacitors that follow the rules. That right there is, I do believe... Yeah, that's almost a 0 ohm resistor. Or in fact might be. These look like the same case right here. Everything seems fine. It's like, it looks like at the bare minimum it should be about, I don't know, 3.7 volts. I'm just going to try applying a little bit of voltage of my own using my variable power supply. I'm going to need to plug this back in. What is this? Is this me that did this? That just came right off. I just noticed that the side of this is in fact broken. Out of curiosity, I'm going to hold that connector down. Really, really hold it down. Nope, nothing happening. It seems to be holding it in place regardless. Let's apply some voltage and see what happens here. I got a small spike of amperage. You guys can't see it obviously, but there's a small spike of amperage there. Maybe I'll try turning up to 5 volts. When I had it at only 3.7 volts, it pulled nothing. It pulled absolutely nothing. Now I've got a 4.2 and it still pulled nothing. Got 4.6, it's pulling a little bit. And then when I put up to 5 volts, it then pulls a full amp. So what I'm going to try to do now, that I've got this all connected together, so I'm going to connect this and then just try to turn it on. No, it's not doing anything. I was anticipating it to be an issue with the power, and I thought, you know what, if I give it the proper power, surely that would do the trick. 5 volts, 1 amp, that's what I had it set to, and it's still not doing anything. I think it's the battery though. I still think that there's something wrong with the battery itself. So I've been doing a lot of research over the last while to try to figure out what exactly is going on with this, because I can't find out anything particularly wrong with this. I've been looking through this BOSE speaker and there doesn't seem to be any shorts. I don't see any burned out parts, and I'm a bit lost, to be honest. So the research pointed me towards plugging this into the computer, and I have done that, and that has resulted in something quite interesting. If I plug this in right now, I think I've got my volume up right now. Let's just double check. Yeah, you hear it? Now let's just plug this in and listen to the computer, what it does. You see that? But you notice it's still not charging. So they were saying that you gotta, you know, hold down the power button for 10 seconds while you plug it into the computer. And others said to hold down the play button, pause button, while you plug it into the computer. And others said just hold it down for 10 seconds, etc., going all through all that stuff. And I did all that, and it doesn't work. It does not solve the problem. I'll prove that again by doing that. I'll hold down the power button while I'm plugging it in. And plug it in. Does this little jingle. Hold it on for 10 seconds. What you're told to do is after 10 seconds, you're supposed to unplug it, let go of the button, plug it back in. So that's about 10 seconds. So I'm going to unplug it, let go of the power button, plug it back in. See, it doesn't work. But I was given an explanation of why it is still detecting as a speaker. In fact, I tried to do a firmware update, and it did. The website from BOSE actually detected the exact model of the speaker. It identified what it was, which was very interesting. It shows that it is registering, but why isn't it turning on? What's going on here? Further research told me that some portion of the circuit is still live, and to get it to disconnect from that, to allow it to turn back on, basically you got to disconnect the battery. So it was literally a turn it off and turn it back on situation. I haven't tried that, but it is a little bit of extra work. I need to desolder all 4 of those wires that are down here, and then I've got to basically, I'm going to do this just in case. I'm going to hold down the power button for maybe 30 seconds to make sure that all the capacitors in it are completely clear, and then I'm going to solder those wires back in, and hopefully that will do the trick. Here's hoping. So I'm over here at my soldering workbench. I gotta get these tabs up, but let's see if this really is just a software glitch. I'm gonna get these tabs out, and we're gonna desolder that battery. Right here, you got the joints that are just straight up visible. So I'm gonna go about just removing them on the spot, and you might not be able to see it. They're right there. Blue, green, white, red. You can actually see the labels for each one, and you got your color coding. Black, excuse me. And that's what they are, black, green, white, red. So it should be a relatively straightforward process of just desoldering, excuse me. Gosh, it don't smell good. I don't have my vent on right now. I'm just gonna stick this back in briefly. So now I'm just gonna hold this down, discharge anything that's left, just hold down the power buttons. Okay, that's gotta be long enough. Let's disconnect this again and solder that back into place. How easy is this going to be to do? How hard is this going to be to do? Okay, I think I've done it. It's definitely connected. I'm a little bit worried because there's this little bit right here. These are data pins, I'm pretty sure, though, so it should be fine even if they did connect. Mind you, I'm sure that it'd cause some sort of problem. Let's go back to my other workbench. Let me get this all back together. We'll see if this works. Now then, let's see. I gotta get the main input board reconnected. Still nothing. Yeah, it's still taking absolutely no draw. It's so disappointing. So I'm really stumped with this. I have no idea what's wrong. I mean, if it can be detected by the computer, and it can show exactly what it is, and yet still not take a draw of any amperage. I'm just very confused. I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to have to end it there. This is a tablet for another video. Thank you guys all for watching. If you like the video, please do leave a like. And if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. See you guys all in another video. Bye.